Labor Day Insights, the deep dive into meteorology, will look out into Reentry week, right? So many kids back to school, adults back to the routine as well. Good news is the weather's cooperating. It's pretty comfortable air to be able to do that. There's a few northern thunderstorms around Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll look at that in this video. We'll talk about rip currents. And if you like to get to the beach after everyone else has gone back to the routine, just a little bit of caution, particularly on Wednesday. And we're going to check in on the tropics in this video as well. Let me get out of the way and remind you, we have our stream going now. It's New England's first and only weather network. The 1 Degree Outside weather stream can be found at onedegreeoutside.live. Atop our app home screen, you've got a link there. Or if you've got a smart TV, you just go to the YouTube app and look up the number 1 Degree Outside network, and you'll find it with the live banner there as well. A reminder that all of it's in the app. Plus, you can get the local forecast for your location. Just search 1 Degree Outside weather on the App Store and Google Play. Okay, jet stream today, big trough that's been carved out. And this is one of the things that's just been a persistent feature, and it's not going to go away. Not in the next few days, not in the next several days. We'll give you the monthly forecast coming up later on today, and we'll see how it looks for the month at large. But notice more energy digs down, more of a trough carved out across the eastern United States, even as we head to the end of this week and the upcoming weekend. And that means more of the same in terms of the weather. One of the nice things is, even though the air's been coming out of Canada, we really haven't been getting into a straight flow coming down from western and central Canada. So the wildfire smoke there, or the wildfires in the upper Midwest, most of that smoke's been held off to the west of us, and that will be the case at least the next couple of days as well. Our weather systems, well, we're kind of stuck in between. You've got this kind of high pressure fair weather that keeps building overhead, but when it breaks down, a couple of things happen. One thing that happens, we get storm centers rippling along well to our south and east, and that's important in terms of throwing waves at us, which we'll look at in a couple of moments. The other thing is, every now and again, you get that strong upper level disturbance with the jet stream trough that comes in, and that's why I say tomorrow, we probably will touch off a couple of afternoon showers and thunderstorms across northern Vermont, maybe into the great north woods of New Hampshire. And by the time we get to Wednesday, more of that energy comes overhead, and that means scattered showers and thunder on the afternoon, possible pretty much anywhere in northern New England, but particularly in the North Country, the way it looks right now. The farther south you go, the more removed from any meaningful precipitation you are, until we get to a slow-moving front that arrives here on Friday. Raises the chance of showers, embedded downpours, and thunder for a lot of us, kind of like we did this past Friday. So we'll keep an eye on that. Storms Prediction Center, not really monitoring a whole lot in the country. You've got a little bit of an elevated risk in the upper Midwest, but here at home again on both Tuesday and Wednesday, at least general thunderstorm action is possible. I actually do think we'll see some small hail and some lightning, certainly with the action that gets going on Tuesday and Wednesday. I want to show you why. If I put things into motion, the temperature's real high up, well, mid-levels of the atmosphere anyway, about 18,000 feet, where you start to see that pink that comes into play on Tuesday afternoon to early evening. You're talking about temperatures around 0 degrees Fahrenheit at 18,000 feet. That's well below the 32-degree freezing mark, right? As we go out into Wednesday, there's more of that to go around. What this means is the air inside the cloud is cold enough that we probably will get hailstones develop, some pea-sized hail in northern Vermont on Tuesday, and in those scattered storms of northern New England on Wednesday. Cloud-to-ground lightning, there'll be enough ice in the cloud to develop that. And then notice the real chilly stuff that starts to come down as we get in towards Friday. That gets closer for the weekend, and that gives us those scattered showers and thunderstorms to bubble up all over again. I mentioned briefly that when we have the storms going by to our south and east, it stirs up the waves a bit. So notice the waves on Tuesday running 4 to 5 feet around Georgia's Bank, but some of that does come back in on us, not in a big way, but enough to raise us to 2 to 4 feet near shore as we head into Wednesday. This will be enough to get the rip currents going. So when you look at the rip current probability forecast, there's actually a high chance of rip currents in all the areas that are in red and a moderate chance for a lot of the rest of us in yellow. So again, if you're going to the beach on Wednesday, just something to keep in mind. In the tropics, there really is remarkably little going on. We've got a lot of dry air that's in place, some Saharan dust, and in other areas we have wind shear, and that's been the case closer to the coastline. But there's one wave that just came off that the Hurricane Center is monitoring. I actually think it's the follow-up wave, though, that's going to come into play and be the one to develop. Having said that, you wouldn't even get development out in the eastern Atlantic until the end of this week, which means you're talking about end of next week. Would start paying attention. That's a little bit more interesting story, and I'll share that with you in the monthly forecast coming up later on today. Okay, so in the meantime, high temperatures for tomorrow, back to school, back to work, running back to the 75 to 80 degree range. The scattered afternoon thunderstorms and showers we talked about in northern Vermont, maybe the great north woods of New Hampshire. Temperatures Tuesday night backing down to the 50s and 40s. Wednesday, again, it's more of kind of the North Country at large with some scattered showers and thunder. Not impossible you find a shower to pop in the afternoon farther south, but far less likely than it is in northern parts of New England. Thursday looking good. So you got a nice week that you're stringing together for the vast majority of New England. And then Friday is that day of blossoming showers, thunder, maybe a little bit more humidity that comes into play, although the humid part wouldn't last long if it gets in here Friday. A reminder that if you love this stuff, you probably would love a membership. But what level for you? Check it out, membership.onedegreeoutside.com, and you can see all of our membership tiers. That's how things look for now. We look forward to seeing you again coming up in just a little bit.